Welcome everybody to another Sol Cafe podcast. Here is Mariana.
And this is Johnny.
And we're gonna talk today about living abroad or living in another country specifically, and it's about Johnny's life because he was living in United States first and he moved to Mexico 2 years ago.
Yeah, about 2 years ago.
About 2 years ago.
Yeah.
So we would like to talk about what is the challenges, but also the beautiful stuff for living in another country with another culture, with different perspectives of seeing life. So what do you think was the first thing in Mexico to was pretty different to your life in Estados Unidos? Like you say, like, wow, I never seen this before, or this is something I never thought?
That's a good question. I said there's a lot of different things. I think first of all, how the houses are set up is way different.
Really?
Yeah, like.
What is the difference?
Okay, first of all, most houses you gotta expect there's no air conditioning, you know, and that's cool.
Yeah.
That's cool for me. You know, I'm open-minded, because my thing is, I didn't want to come here living like I'm an American. I wanted to come here and get to know the culture and get to know, just kind of live just like a Mexican, you know.
Which was the first state you visit here in Mexico?
I went to Veracruz first.
Okay, Veracruz
for like 2 months.
Which part of Veracruz?
Jalapa.
Oh,
Veracruz.
yeah, because when we're thinking of Veracruz, we're thinking of beaches and we're thinking of the heat, no, of the place.
Right.
But Jalapa is pretty different.
Yeah.
Jalapa is around mountains and
it's colder.
Yeah.
And even there, they don't, like, some houses have hot water, some houses don't. My house didn't have hot water, so it was really cold.
Also, the houses are pretty different in Jalapa, no?
Yeah,
They're all like together, small places. They look pretty old too. You know, they have this charming.
It reminded me of what I came before, like New Orleans. Like if anybody's been to the French Quarters, the houses are like, you know, Spanish architecture, French architecture this type of like architecture. You know, back in the day, like they had this
the old type, no?
Yeah. They were building houses close together and stuff like that. So it kind of reminded me of like that area. So I was kind of familiar with that type of housing, and it gave me that type of same energy feeling in a way. But it was just amazing. First of all, like being around mountains and things like that. Like the scenery sold me. So after that, I was like, whatever comes with it, I'm with it. You know, I was very open-minded.
That's pretty green. No?
And I think coming, like being an expat, living abroad or anything, you kind of had to come here with an open mind. Like if you're going to another country, because literally, like, don't think about your old country. Think about like experiencing something new. And I think that for me, that helped me. And I also miss some old things, don't get me wrong.
Yeah, I think one important issue for moving outside of your country to another country is the language barrier, right?
Yeah.
And how you deal with it. Like, do you know enough Spanish words to communicate to people, or do you like learn something before coming?
I mean,
or you just coming like with your native language?
I mean, I didn't really know shit, honestly, but I had, you know, some words that I've heard that my grandma uses. You know, I'm of Mexican descent, so I'm like third, fourth generation Mexican American, and we lost the Espanol along the way, the Spanish. Like nobody in my house speaks Spanish, and so my grandmother is the only one that I remember saying like Spanglish words all the time. She spoke mostly English, but it was like mixed with Spanish.
How that help you here?
That helped me just know slang words. honestly.
Yeah.
And so I knew what a chancla was.
That's a
I-
good one.
I
That's a
knew-
good one.
I knew like basic stuff, you know, por favor, you know, the magic words.
That's
Uh,
necessary.
you know, like anything. I know what a cochina was. I know what a cabrón.
Okay,
Oh,
we
yeah,
got it.
yeah.
We got it.
These are the things, you know.
Okay.
I mean, I just knew the slang street words essentially, just some of them, not all of them. So that kind of gave me an idea of like, you know, of the culture. Gave me, and my grandma also, she would make Mexican food and stuff. So like, I had an idea what the dishes were like.
Yeah, that's other thing. Like how
Cool.
different, which is the big difference between the food in United States or specifically New Orleans or
Texas.
Texas, with specifically Jalapa City, for example.
Well, Jalapa, so yeah, it's a lot different. First of all, you're not. Jalapa does offer like fast food restaurants and stuff, but it's not like a whole bunch of them like in the Estados in the United States. And you know, I'm not a big fast food person, anyways. At that time, I was more a vegan, and so what was cool about Jalapa, they actually had a lot of options there.
They do.
They had like grocery stores, they had like restaurants,
Mercados.
yeah, like markets. She said they had just everything that I would need, and that was cool. That was really cool for me because I still was able to stay, you know, keep up my vegan diet at that time, and it was amazing.
Yeah, it's a pretty nice place because it's like
lot of
around
young
these
people.
mountains. So people of the little towns.
Yeah.
They're coming there and they give you the option to buying organic vegetables.
Yeah.
And other stuff like pan, for example, like bread is pretty good in Jalapa. And the thing is because it's cold, but
Yeah.
also I think it's part of the culture of
Oh, yeah,
Jalapa.
they do have a lot of
more panaderias,
panaderias.
like bread stores than any other place I've been there. So I think that's other, and also they have their own type of food. Like they have some things you only can get there, like some type of bread you only gonna get there, and it's a flavor, that different flavor too. How you can like describe now? You're living in Oaxaca. You're living in the coast of Oaxaca, in Huatulco, in Valles de Huatulco specifically. You see the difference between Jalapa and Oaxaca?
Well, specifically here, because Oaxaca's, you know, the state.
Sí, bueno,
Yeah.
here in Huatulco, yeah.
Yeah. Yes, I see the difference for sure. So this is a lot smaller town, is how I feel. More chill, laid back. Jalapa was more like I don't know, for me I got a feel of like a bigger city.
Yeah.
And also like it had a lot of diverse, different people. You had a lot of kids, like college age. Yeah, it's like, and they have like it's more accessible for certain things that you may need. So you come to Huatulco, it's different, you know, smaller town, it's hot. It's more like chill, relaxed.
You relate Jalapa to New Orleans? Can you relate Huatulco to another place you've been in Estados Unidos?
No, cannot.
No?
It's just I can't relate it at all because it's like its own unique thing. And if there is a place in the United States like this, I've never been, but I don't think there is because first of all, Huatulco, the only fast food you're getting is like street tacos or like ayudas or like stuff like that. Here it's fairly new, by the way, fairly new town, and it's a bunch of beaches, like 36, maybe more, I don't know. So you have more of like the chill coast lifestyle, laid back, drink a cerveza.
Eating clayudas.
Eat clayuda, whatever. Like it's really chill, and yeah, has its pros and cons too. Like here, I don't have many vegan restaurants to go to.
That's true.
You know what I mean?
It's not option, not that much.
And
Maybe
even,
1 or 2.
Yeah, like 1 or 2.
And you gotta
ones.
pray if it's gonna be good.
Literally 1 or 2, and one of them that's really like open all week. So, and at that time when I first came, there wasn't one.
Yeah, also they're new.
Yeah, so that was like a shocking thing for me. And even the grocery stores don't really have much options for it.
What about the language barrier here in Puerto Rico?
It's, I would say more people speak English here.
Yeah, because it's a tourist
It's a
place.
tourist area, so you come over. That's one thing I did notice when I first came here. I noticed like Canadians here.
See, we have a lot of Canadian people.
Yeah, and that kind of like, whoa, like I didn't realize I'm coming to like a really touristy town. That shocked me a little bit because I never heard of this town, and I thought it was like kind of like when I looked it up, they call it a secret gem.
Ooh,
so that was like,
I like that.
That was my
really we're chiquitos. We're chiquitos, more smaller than another most popular base or most popular like places. If you wanna come to Mexico, no, you're living in the United States. You wanna go to the beaches. You wanna like hear more about Cancun. You wanna hear more about Acapulco. No, that's Tulum. That's bigger places that are really, really popular. Los Cabos. No, we're not competing with them. Even if we are still a tourist place, we're not competing with them. We're really small, but yeah. It's still a tourist place. Still, the prices are high.
Yes, it's higher. They're higher than Jalapa.
Sí.
And
because Jalapa is not a tourist place.
The tourism here is a bunch of like people that are retirees. It's not like it's like one age group mostly.
Sí, we say the oldies.
The oldies, yeah.
They're coming here.
They come here and they want to spend the rest of their lives.
I think because it's calm, like you're saying, it's chill, it's calm.
And you got it's paradise. You got the beaches right there. Seafood here, a lot of seafood. Yeah, it's like people's dream to come here, to come to a place like this.
Do you think people see you different because you're like you're coming from another state? Do you experience some people to maybe look at you bad or don't want to talk to you in English or I don't know, bully you in some way?
I think well, first it's a little difficult for me because I have a Mexican face, so I think that's one thing that they think I automatically speak fluent.
But it's like pro and like could be something good or could be something.
Right.
No.
Some people like I think the newer people, they are open to like speak English with me. I think the people that I've been friends with, they're like, all right, bro, it's time to switch to Espanol now. I get a hard time from them more than I do like new people that I meet.
Yeah, more for your friends.
Yeah, more for my friends that are from here, and they're like, they're speaking their native language from Mexico. They're like, all right, bro, it's time to learn more Espanol, and that depending how you take it. For me, I think I take it bad sometimes because then it makes me like pushes me, and I don't know, I don't get a good reaction from it. But it probably will happen to you if coming here, living in a different country, and it's understood. Like it's like going to somebody's house, right? You have to be polite. You have to go by their rules. You know what I mean? And that's something that I have to be humble and understand, and not take offense to it. But also, not push myself, be gentle, and learn the language over time. At least make effort and speak when I can and the words that I know, and make an effort. That's all, and I think that's been helping me a lot. I'm not fluent still, but I'm learning more and more every day, and
you're always trying, right?
I'm always trying. Yeah, like I can can do a lot of things now by myself.
I think here in Huatulco, maybe because we're used to, like Canadians especially, but also we're seeing here Chinese people, we're getting here like from Argentina, from other places, in other places in the United States too. Maybe we're more open to speaking English with the people who is coming to Huatulco. I'm saying maybe here more than maybe other states of Mexico could be different, no? And I want to say this because it's not the same. It always depends of the context and always depends. The experience is also about where you at, no? And where you're living, no? And that's other thing, right? But what is the good thing you get do you like speaking English or talking with people who are also living here? Or maybe you can exchange your English for Spanish, I don't know, like.
Yeah.
What is the good things you get here from speaking English, maybe not speaking that fluid native language, which is Espanol or Spanish?
The good things?
The good things, yeah. Gotta be good things, right? It's not always a challenge, it's not always like.
I think, like, you meet people, like I met a lot of people that want to speak English and also that are from here, and that's connected me with them, and they vice versa, they help me connect with the culture here. So I think that's something that's positive.
But maybe you met new friends, no?
Yeah,
just for the language.
Just for the language, and that helped me connect with, like, I found my girlfriend speaking English. And this is like a true testimony. And, so like she's like always trying to learn too, and if I would have spoken Espanol, you never know how the language would have. You never know.
True.
Might have not been the same attraction.
True.
I don't know. We don't know
about the language.
Yeah. We don't know. The language may do something. You may be able to like speak a certain type of energy, that you wouldn't have done in a different language. I don't know, language is interesting. It made me me living in another country made me more interested and see the importance of how language is. Because before I'm just speaking without even thinking. And now I'm thinking every word, like literally thinking every word I say specifically to people like my girlfriend or anybody that, English is not their first language.
My family.
Yes, you gotta really be clear with your words, as well, like not using more formal words than non-formal words, or if you do use non-formal words, explain what that means, because a lot of times we just assume they know what it means, because like my girlfriend knows English, it doesn't mean she knows every folk, like she didn't grow up there, so she doesn't know like the native tongue of how we speak. We say a lot of slang too.
I also have my accent. I have my Spanish accent, and it's part of myself, but sometimes it can be hard to hear, to understand.
Yeah, so I like to explain. I mean, I have to explain sometimes my words, and I like it too. So I'm more like aware of how I talk to my girlfriend, to like other people that, like I said, English is not their first language. So that makes me think like, wow. This whole time I've been speaking unconsciously.
No, even me in Espanol, when I gotta like explain something to you, is same. If somebody wanna come to Mexico and living abroad, like you're living, or maybe just like spending maybe more than a week of vacation, maybe a month, and what would be a good advice you could like sharing with them, especially if they want to come to Mexico?
I mean, this is okay. So my advice is first do research. Do research on the place. Meaning like whatever you like, what do you want to do?
Or any place you wanna like visit.
Visit. And like, I think you should, personally, my personal opinion, I think people should come with the respect of knowing like the magic words in Espanol.
Please.
ordering your food.
Please.
Like people, like even think about yourself. If you know English and somebody's like from another country is trying to speak your language, you feel good about that. Like just think about that. So imagine coming here and like I knew that from the jump when I went to Veracruz. Anywhere I went, like restaurant wise, I did not try to speak English. I tried to speak Espanol first. If I didn't know certain words, then I would have to speak English. But I would always speak Espanol. Like I would say, order my food. Like buenos dias. I would say buenos dias. ¿Cómo estás? And then
That's good.
Order my cafe con leche. Whatever it is. But yeah, like you gotta be respectful in that way. I think you would get more out of your experience that you're looking for. Because I'm assuming you're coming here to get a good experience and understand the culture a little bit. I'm assuming, so everybody has their own, what am I trying to say?
But like expectations like they get their own idea.
Yeah.
About going there, the intentions, no. And what about people? For finishing this nice talk about living abroad, and what about people who is scary to come into Mexico? Because I know Mexico can look bad on the TV shows, on the news about. And I think it's like a lot of places maybe can be a little bit more dangerous than others. But what you can tell, I can say, to the people who is scary to come into Mexico?
Okay, so first off, like the news is not always right. Just want to say that. So they always highlight the cartel, this and that. And I think anywhere you go, even in the Estados Unidos, there's crime. United States, there's crime. There's everything. It's not like they got cartel members just going around and fucking with people. No, it's not true. I think, there's like you can even look it up, like the places that do have more crime than others. And I'd say do your research, see what the reviews are. If you really are like, a little scared, talk with like somebody that's visited Mexico, like myself. I could tell you like a good safe areas around here. But I've honestly felt really safe being here, in Oaxaca specifically. Like I feel safer here than in the United States, where I'm from, Dallas, and I felt like more like, but also. Don't look for the crime, don't look for the things. Also, like, you can
not
also
coming with that idea, no, for like, oh my God, they're gonna rob me. Oh my God, something bad is happening.
Exactly.
Right?
Like, this is a new place, and just come like, no expectations, no nothing, and just have fun and enjoy yourself.
Yeah.
And nobody's gonna fuck with you. Nobody's gonna fuck with you. And
I think it's like 50-50. It's always like like the two sides of the story. So like maybe something will happen to you in that area you're living,
right?
In that city you're living. Maybe the same possibility that happens to you here in Mexico. No, it's not, because Mexico is like 70-80% more dangerous. That's not true. I think like in any other place, like in any other country, it can be 50-50, Maybe not coming, as you said, not coming with the idea of like, oh my God, this is going to happen.
Yeah, and when I first came, I was a hippie, so I was against all the news and stuff like that.
People don't fuck with hippies. Okay, that's the other thing. You look hippie, they don't fuck with you.
Also, if you're gonna be if you want to live in a different country full time, I want to say this.
Yeah.
You make sure you do your research about the laws and stuff, about like how you could be here legally.
True.
I think that's important. And
also the own rules of the place.
Exactly, own rules, and just like follow them, because that's the only way you can legally. And even if you want to buy a house, there's like the rules on that too. Buy land, no, and be respectful. That's all. That's all. And yeah, have fun, enjoy yourself, and
it's always a new experience, right? It's
Yeah.
exciting, like moving.
and there's cons too. Like, don't expect your family to visit, your friends and family to visit you all the time if they live in a different country.
Yeah.
Don't expect here to have a new life. Like you're
Literally new.
reborn essentially,
See,
and you get to know yourself through that process. So
going with the flow, huh?
go on with the flow.
That's cool. Thank you everybody for watching. If you have some questions, we have
let
here
us know
Johnny.
in the
Let us know
comments.
in the comments, and we can do maybe another video talking about another topics about living abroad, because I think this is pretty sure to really go deep into which means living in another country is
Yeah.
more than just like
This is like the short version.
yeah, it's more than just the language. It's a lot of other stuff. So if you have some ideas, just put it in the comments, please. And yeah, thank you. So see you in the next podcast.
Peace.